Hey there, it's Kat and this is Brews and Reviews. So in January I started a series called Haul vs Unhaul, and here we are for the February edition. And yeah, it's nowhere near as successful as the January version. I knew it wouldn't be. It's not every month that you get rid of 52 books all at once and clear your shelves out and are like magnificent at unhauling things. Like, no. This is more like the real me. The real shamed me. So before I get into this shame, I'm going to drink my coffee because it's cold, and then I'll tell you all about the books that I have read, hauled, and unhauled. So let's talk about the books that I read in February first. I'm not going to talk about the books in any detail at all because, I mean, if you want to know about them, watch my February wrap-up. So I read The House of Hades and the Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan, Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse, No Exit by Taylor Adams, Sixth Target by James Patterson and Maxine Petro, Stalkers by Paul Finch, Peril at End House by Agatha Christie, Full Moon by Jim Butcher, Don't Look Back by Laura Lippman, and Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Now, 7 out of 10 of those books can be found on my shelves. So technically I got 7 of my physical TBR down. The others were on audiobook, so they don't really count, but I mean, at least I read them. Now let's get on to my unhauling pile. It's got 1 book on it. Just one. And that's Stalkers by Paul Finch, because it was okay, it was average, and I'm like, well, I'll just give it to someone else. Maybe they'll enjoy it more than me. I'm not going to continue with the series, so I don't really see any need in keeping this one. And I was like, I can't not unhaul 1 book. And if I found this one average, then I'm unhauling it, so, you know, it's going. You might be thinking, why didn't you unhaul Don't Look Back by Laura Lippman? Because it's a Complaints with Kat one and you hate it. Well, I don't like to unhaul things that I actively have a reason to dislike because I'm lazy and I don't want to edit in a photo of me holding that book up if I'm going to talk about it, so you know what? I'll just keep it for a bit. Maybe I'll unhaul it at a later date if I never mention it ever again. So now we're moving on to my haul for February, and let me just tell you, it's big. I have a problem with self-control when it comes to buying books when there's a sale. Like, if there's a sale and it's like £3 per audiobook, I'm like, ooh, yes, give me the audiobooks! And then I buy them all. So let's go through the physical books that I've acquired this month, and then I can tell you about all the audiobooks that I bought. So first I picked up No Exit by Taylor Adams, and I mean, of course I did, because I really enjoyed it as an audiobook, which is where I owned it first, and I was like, I really want a copy of this on my shelves. So I bought it. And this isn't really helping me with shelf space, but like, I really wanted a copy of it, so there it is. And next up, I didn't buy this one, it was kindly sent to me by the author, and that is Leaping Wolf by J.P. Harker. I'm planning to get this one read in January. It's the sequel to Wildcat, which was a really enjoyable historical fantasy that followed a really strong female character and had loads of really cool battles in it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where this one goes. But yeah, I mean, look at it. It's a chunky boy, and again, doesn't really help me with my space saving things, but I mean, it's signed and it's lovely and I can't wait to read it, so. And then Audible sale happened, so I mean, I only actually added 2 physical books to my shelves this month, and I've read 1 of them, so only 1 of them is actually going on in TBR, and I am planning to read that at the beginning of March, so maybe I'm not really adding to my TBR that much. Am I justifying my actions? Maybe a little bit, a lot. The first 2 books on this list I didn't buy in the sale. These are 100% because I watched a recommendation video for FF Romance, and that was from Izzy's Busy Reading. Great channel, she has some amazing recommendations. I'll leave a link to her channel down below. So I picked up Labyrinth Lost and Tarnished Are the Stars on audiobook because I was like, I just want them. They sounded so good, and like, I just really was intrigued by them. Then I went on a binge because they had like the Valentine's sale on Audible, and I bought Valor and Ruin by, I don't even remember who. Basically my dad was reading Malice. Oh, John Gwynne. It was by John Gwynne. He was reading the first one and I was like, oh, the second and third one are in this sale, so I'll buy them for my dad. And then I picked up The Wicked King and The Queen of Nothing, which are the second and third book in the Folk of the Air trilogy, and I was like, well, I'm gonna read those at some point anyway. They're like $2.99, like why wouldn't I? And then there was Winter Warriors by David Gemmell, and I like having a copy of David Gemmell's books on audiobook, and I haven't got that one yet, so like, sue me, I was never gonna not pick that one up. Then we have Dogs of War. I think that this is about robot dogs who have sentience and fight in wars, and you know, it sounded really good, and it was like a sci-fi thing, so I thought, oh, that sounds really interesting. And then lastly, I picked up Pendulum, which is a thriller book, and I already have that on my physical TBR, so I was like, oh, I can get the audiobook version of it, and then I can read it at work, and then we'll get rid of something on my physical TBR. So of the 11 books that I've hauled this month, 2 were physical and 9 were audiobooks. You know, I just seem to acquire more and more audiobooks. I mean, 2 of them weren't technically for me, but the rest were, so like, I really need to get listening a lot. So technically, I read 7 books off my physical TBR and added 2 to it, so I've lost 5 books from my physical TBR, 6 if you include the one I'm unhauling. But technically, I'm also only unhauling 1 of them, so yeah, just means that more of the shelves are red, I guess. I'm not doing a great job at this at all. I really do need to unhaul more of the things that I don't enjoy. Like, I can see maybe once I've got further into the series, maybe unhauling some of the Women's Murder Club series, which is 6th Target I read this month. Like, because they're not fantastic, but I'm just not there yet, so I'm not going to do that yet, but maybe I will in a future month. How are you guys doing for hauling, unhauling things? Are you ridding your TBR? Are you just binning stuff off that you haven't read and you don't think you will? So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!